He is gone. The Lakers are done. They just got swept by the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't see him being a Los Angeles Lake. What? Are we going to get through this?
Steiny's finishing move as the opponent is laid out like on the mat. He's like pouring salt in the wounds.
Well, that's actually pretty good. Steiny and Gu are the Dudley boys. It's not bad.
Come in and tell you why you just lost the match you lost.
They're calling him Scott Steiny, not Scott Steiner.
That's a good one.
There you go, 415.
He's just not as jacked as him. Could you imagine him wearing, what was the sheath thing that he wore over his head? It was
the chainmail. The chainmail. Just rocking that. The guy was so roided out of his mind. He had veins on his
800
veins.
pens.
It's so good. No. Well, Scott Steiner famously had the one where like he couldn't do math correctly. If you have 10% and then you go 20%, you'll have 95%. 925 Carter is Coco Beware and Shasky is the parrot. I don't know who that is. Coco Beware. That's above my head. Can we get back to talking about sports? 510. It is.
We were just having a little fun.
That is sports. It's wrestling, baby. Fun. Sports entertainment is what it is. And you know what would be entertainment for me next year? It would kind of have a WWE feel to it. Let's just bring him in.
Who?
LeBron. Bring him here. Seriously.
So what's it going to cost you? Is it nothing? Like, is he going to play for nothing?
I don't care the cost. Bring him over here. If LeBron says to Joe Lacob and to Steph and to Steve Kerr, I want to play for you guys, figure it out, Dunleavy. Figure it out. I'm dead serious.
Well,
he
would
this.
have to play.
This isn't a bit, by the way. I'm dead serious. Bring him over here.
So you want LeBron?
Yes.
On the Warriors?
Yes.
You think Warrior fans want LeBron on the Warriors?
They should. Give me one good reason not to bring LeBron James on the Golden State Warriors next year. 888-957-9570.
Because it might cost you Draymond?
Who would I rather have on the team next year?
Is this a reason for or against LeBron?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that like you're making
guys,
the better
if
case?
LeBron's coming, it's one of two guys. Like, he's not going to play for free.
Of course he's not.
And he's definitely not playing for the mid-level exception. Can we all acknowledge that?
Yes. And I will also acknowledge that if I had to bet money on May 12th, 8:30 a.m., 2026, do I think he's going to be here? No. I don't think he will be a Golden State Warrior. That's not the question, though.
Where do you think he's going?
I think he's staying in Los Angeles.
Gotcha.
I do think how the season ended, I think he's going to Luka got hurt. Let's run it back next year. They were playing well before Luka got hurt.
Austin Reeves.
They might. Maybe he goes back to Cleveland. I have no idea. Maybe he goes back to Miami.
But Cleveland doesn't have any room.
Yeah, you're
financially.
Right. Financially, things could happen. I have no idea.
I know.
But that's where I would guess today. But smarter people than me have linked the Golden State Warriors and LeBron James for months now. No, we're talking like the entire year they've been talking about this thing. So, yeah, if the money is right and it's allocated correctly, I don't see a downside of bringing in LeBron James outside of people saying it would take away shine from Steph Curry, which honestly, I don't buy. LeBron is never going to be what Steph is here in the Bay. Now, are they
going to retire together?
Maybe. I actually think that would be kind of cool, but that's just me. Some people would say no because...
Could you imagine their final game and Curry's walking off and like...
LeBron has his arm around him?
It would be a weird visual. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. It just would be it would be such an odd visual.
What is the argument against bringing LeBron James here?
He doesn't solve your number one issue, which is perimeter defense, rim protection, and shooting.
Okay.
If I were to say in any order, those are your three biggest needs. You got to get, younger perimeter defenders or active at the rim defenders, and you need more shooting.
I would say he's an opportunistic defender. Is he what he was a decade ago? No, he's going to be 42 years old by the middle of next season.
He also didn't play the first month and a half
with a sciatica, the old man disease. Yes, he had that. But he also averaged 21, 6, and 7 on 51% shooting.
He's still a top 25 player in the game.
Yes.
I mean, maybe that's even a stretch. Maybe it's more like he's higher up on that.
And I can't scoff at that, given what the Warriors need right now, talent-wise. And this is what he just did against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And again,
that team is just...
They're so stacked. But this is what he did against them. In Game 1, 27 points, 12 of 17 from the floor. Game 2, 23 points, 9 of 18 shooting. Game 3, 19 points, 6 boards, 8 assists on 7 of 19 shooting. And then yesterday, in an elimination game, probably his worst game shooting-wise of the entire thing, but 24 points, 8 of 18, 12 boards and 3 assists. It wasn't his fault that they couldn't beat the Thunder. They didn't have the bodies.
But how does that make you I mean, it's a great story. It's way more entertaining. Does it make you better?
Yes, I do think bringing LeBron James makes you better. It does. Now, does it make you better to the point where I'm automatically a contender? No.
Do you mean better as in we don't have Jimmy for 2 months?
Correct.
Okay.
Give me whatever the Warriors were last year without Jimmy and you plug in LeBron. Yes, they're a better team. Absolutely, they're a better team.
I would agree.
How could they not be?
No, I would agree with that.
LeBron,
Are you trading Jimmy in this one? In this, like if Draymond, because Draymond's probably staying if LeBron's coming. So play it out for me. You're trading Jimmy?
That's fine. Or you bring it. I don't know what the financial ramifications are. I'm not even getting there yet. I'm just talking about LeBron in Golden State. That's it.
The league would love it.
And if Jimmy's still here, then yes, I would love that too. Or if you have to move off of him. I have no idea what Jimmy wants. And again, I'm kind of with you where I think Jimmy's not coming back until he has financial security. That's just me. I
think that if you don't trade Jimmy this offseason, the next thing that we hear from Jimmy is going to be, well, I just say, I got to get that extension.
Well, he's like, my knee's just not right yet. I'm not playing the entire year.
I hate to be so nefarious with it.
That's what he's done his whole career.
So it's got a Trent Williams vibe to it.
Absolutely. See, this is what I'm talking about with 415. I have no desire to watch LeBron do a retirement tour in a Warriors jersey. Why not? No, seriously, why not?
Because we don't like him.
Why?
Because he's been the number one foe to this particular organization, and probably the biggest loss in the history of the organization can be directly correlated to him.
Okay. That was the last time LeBron, and outside of that one Lakers series, he ever had the upper hand on you. Ever. Was the 2016 game.
He also beat you in the play-in.
Well, do we care about the play-in?
Well, that year, the 3 rims, and, I hate him.
Him and Steph are homies now. Let's call it what it is.
But
they're homies now.
Look, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. On one level, would it be way more entertaining? Yes.
That's a great question in my ear, Sammy. Do I think Stephen Curry would take a pay cut to bring in LeBron James? I actually think he might. No, seriously. I do think he would take a slight pay cut to bring in LeBron James.
I don't know.
I don't hate that.
Well, I'm listening to Willard and Steiny kind of go at it yesterday, and I just disagree with Mark on this one. And he's like, you can't treat everyone the same, blah, blah, blah. And I know Dibbs has done this financial exercise where Curry's worth way more than the $500 million. Yeah, you don't own the team. The owner owns the team. And yes, you have been a huge impact on the overall value of the team at every level. Revenue, merchandise, tickets, the valuation of the organization, all of that. There's no doubt about it, all right? You've made $500 million.
That's it.
Steph's made that's on the floor. $500 million, okay? They got you the greatest or second greatest free agent of all time. It's been a pretty fruitful endeavor on both ends. Now, you could say Curry is still owed. I'll listen to that. You're probably right. The owners all across sports would die to have Steph Curry. I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is he's been compensated on and off the floor by the Warriors for his lifetime. And this next extension that he ends up taking, it is going to give me an idea of kind of where Curry views himself, the team, like everything. I'm going to get a real good feel for, and the only word I can use to describe it is introspective, not selfishness, of if he takes the full max, I'm going to be disappointed in him.
You can make
I am. I'm going to be disappointed in him.
He's often compared himself.
$20 million is going to change his life.
He's been inspired and compared himself to the likes of Tom Brady. And you know what makes Tom Brady the greatest? It's not just all the accolades. It's not all the Super Bowls. It's not all the MVPs. It's not the longevity, although that stuff's all amazing and why he's a Hall of Famer. It's the selflessness when it came to building a team.
Yes.
And taking a pay cut. He did that before anyone else wanted to do that. Peyton Manning really didn't do that. In Denver, when they were breaking him off a big chunk of change, he wasn't taking the pay cuts.
No.
Tom Brady, that's why I always view him as the GOAT, is because he was willing to do whatever it took to get the championship pieces around him, keeping the Gronks, keeping a Wes Welker, keeping the Julian Edelmans, keeping whoever you need defensively to stay on your team, because that's what the bread and butter certain times, or to have the financial flexibility to bring in a mercenary if you need him to be an Antonio Brown, right, in Tampa Bay, or the Ndamukong Suhs of the world, Leonard Fournette's. Like, that is what winning is about. At the end of your career, when you look at it and say, hey, I made enough money. Now, am I going to begrudge Steph if he wants to, maximize? No, I'm not, because that's him.
It's not
that's what he wants to do.
him, but it is to me a microcosm of like the final years of your career.
But it's
more difficult to round out the team.
No, absolutely.
And no one's saying play for free.
I
a $20 million haircut on 1 year is not changing his life infinitely. It could help the roster infinitely.
Joe, I would only have a problem if he started complaining about the roster and about the lack of championship kind of, medal of the organization. If he was getting a full,
sure. He's earned it.
Exactly.
No one's saying he hasn't earned it. But like what we're saying is there has to be some slight adjustment. I don't know. I'm not going to see eye to eye. If this was a guy with his first contract, maybe his second contract, it's life-changing, every million, I get it. How is $20 million when you've made $500 million on the floor? That's not off the court. How is that changing his life?
415, disappointment's a very strong word, Joe. I don't know how you could be disappointed in Steph Curry for the amount of money he decides to take or not take. That's from the 415. He was underpaid earlier in his career. That's a fact.
For 4 years.
I'm disappointed in him because of his actions, not because of the money he decided to take or not take.
I want to build the best team, right? Don't we all? I want to build the best team. And it's easier to build the best team when Brock Purdy takes $5 million less per year, which he did. When other guys around the team take slightly less. Again, mid-level exception is like $8.5, $9 million, all right? So $20 million, you can get a really, 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 really good player for $20 million to help this team out, to win.
Go get LeBron James. And if it does mean him taking a pay cut to bring in LeBron James, I think most Warriors fans would be in on that, right? And that would show Steph still doing whatever it takes to try to compete. And I'm not saying bringing in LeBron, and why are we talking about this? Because Lakers got swept and LeBron's a free agent and we'll see where he goes. I'm sure it's going to be the talk of the entire summer. It's going to be like Aaron Rodgers 3.0 with LeBron James. That's what we're going to be doing, as you already see on First Take a bunch. But I do think that significantly improves your team if you bring in LeBron James next year. It does. He is still a really, really, really good player. Is he what he was a decade ago? No, he is not. And I don't think the Warriors are in any position to scoff and say, we're too good to have LeBron James here, when he'd immediately be your second best player next to Steph Curry. It would be a 1A, 1B scenario. Again, I'm going through the stats of this guy, what he was able to do this season, Joe. At age 41, he averaged 33 minutes a game. 33 minutes. That's incredible. 20 points, 51% shooting, 6 boards, 7 assists. And he would be okay being your primary ball handler. If you don't want me to be that, that's fine. At this point of his career, he bought into being the third best player on his team, Joe. You don't think he could buy into whatever the Warriors ask of him next year? Again, I'm asking the question. LeBron's a free agent. Why not bring him to Golden State?